It's May the 11th, 1994, and this coming 3 or 4 days to the weekend, railway history is being made here in Victoria. For the first time, and probably the last, a South Australian steam locomotive, a Pacific engine 620 class, is going to come across the border and run in Victoria. They can only bring it as far as Bacchus Marsh. I presume this is because, being of an American or American design engine, that it is wide across the cylinders and would foul the platforms if it was brought any closer to Melbourne. So tonight we head off and spend the night at Ararat tonight. There is a sleeping car train with an R-class leaving Spencer Street tonight to go to meet this South Australian locomotive at the border or over the border at Wolseley. So we'll probably start off with a few night shots of this sleeping car train leaving Melbourne. It's 25 after 8 on the evening of the 11th of May, and we are at Bacchus Marsh here waiting for the R-class hauled sleeping car train to come from Melbourne and continue its journey up the bank to Ballarat. At last our iron horse has arrived. It's Thursday morning now, May 12th, and they are coaling the tender of the R-class with this crane and the coal bags. Quite an interesting manoeuvre. There it is, about to be lowered into the tender of the R-class. As can be seen, they're having a barbecue breakfast here, and the Melbourne train is about to depart in the background. The Ararat yard is just a ghost of its former self. There's an A-class here on the Melbourne bound train. This is signal box on the left. It's now 5 after 9 and our special train is leaving Ararat. Right at the other side of that bridge is the Great Western Winery here at Great Western. Standing in the loop at Great Western, and they have a little mechanical trouble here with the top slide bar and crosshead. Leaving Great Western Loop. The train has now crossed the Great Divide at an elevation of about 1100 feet. Matawa. It's now 11:15 and the train is seen leaving Horsham, headed west. On the eastern side of Dimboola at a place called Whale. Arriving at Dimboola. The crossing in the distance there is the main Adelaide line, and this is the branch line to Yarpeet. And here comes our iron horse. We're in the heart of the Mallee country here on the verge of the Little Desert. Peter and another photographer there waiting for the train. The train is now leaving the little wheat town of Arkona. This is the little town of Warren Yerk, and the silo dominates the couple of little houses that are here. This is the main street of Japarat, and the facade on this hotel here, the Hindermarsh Hotel. This gives an indication at the town of Japarat of the wheat silos, and it is easy to see that there could be quite a lot of money around this district. Wheat fields and wheat fields and more wheat fields. Wheat everywhere in this Wimmera country. We're at the end of the line now, Pete, and the school kids are here waiting for the train to come, and they've just been chanting, "Come on train, come on train." Well, here's all the rail fans discussing times from Adelaide. The whole population of Pete is down here at the railway depot to watch the train come in. End of the line. Swinging the auto coupler into place.
Whoa, whoa, what's moving? What's your hook on?
Leaving Pete for the last time. They can't turn the engine around here, so it must run backwards all the way to Dimboola. It's now Friday the 13th and we're in Tailem Bend, South Australia, and the South Australian steam train is just arriving here now. Tailem Bend Station. We've unhooked the locomotive here to take on coal. We've got a wagon load of coal here. They're coaling our iron horse from this coal wagon here. South Australian railway locomotives always had an interesting array of spanners on the back of the coal bunker. They've been pumping grease into the motion from the air off the engine. The insignia of the South Australian Railway in the middle of the smoke box door.
Here comes Kelly getting off the train. Who's driving this train?
All of the local school kids probably have never seen a steam locomotive before. We're doing about 80 miles an hour and we have no trouble in getting in front of the train for another photograph. We are now at Border Town and this South Australian locomotive is about to cross the border for the first time, the state line into Victoria. Right opposite the train station here in Bordertown is the Bordertown Hotel. We're now at the little town of Wolseley, and the Victorian train is down beyond down there for the meet with this one. The station at Wolseley. There's Peter taking a photograph by the wheat silos. The Victorian R class has attached itself to the front of the South Australian cars, and we're waiting now for the South Australian engine to come down and couple onto the back of this. The South Australian locomotive is now backing down to couple onto the rear of the Victorian engine. Leaving Wolseley, the wheat silos can be seen in the distance on the right hand side. This is the abandoned station at Serviceton. It's now Saturday the 14th of May, and Peter's there arranging his camera as to where he's going to take a photograph. This is the Wimmera country, and I can see or hear the train whistle in the distance. And here comes our train and all the motorcaders. Would you come this side of me, please? I want to pan around.
Oh, yeah,
All the photographers climbing back on board again. We're now on the Melbourne side of Garangarung, heading for Dimboola. Arriving at Dimboola. As there is a turntable here at Dimboola, the R class, which has been running tender first from the border, from the state line, will now be turned. It only just fits on this table.
I just got the brakes on.
The wheelbase of the engine wouldn't want to be any longer. We're waiting here at the siding and silo at Whale. Peter just said we're going to have a whale of a time.
looking across the Wimmera Plains. We just timed that last photo run by nicely. We're now at the station at Matoa, and the Country Fire Authority boys here are ready to fill the tender tanks with water. The Country Fire Authority boys are having a great time here filling this tank. Leaving Matoa. The station building here at Stawell is a magnificent old structure, and the actual rail yard here is only a ghost now of its former self. Entering Stawell. Leaving Stawell. Entering Ararat. We are now at the magnificent station at Ballarat, Victoria. The original part of this station, which is the train shed, was built in 1862. There is the entrance to the train shed. We're standing at the top of the hill at Warrenheip, and this has been a battleground for steam locomotives since 1862. It's now Sunday morning. We're now at Balan, waiting for the train to arrive. The train has arrived back at Bacchus Marsh and the end of the line for the South Australian engine. It can't go any further towards Melbourne. Arriving at Bacchus Marsh. Turning the R class at Bacchus Marsh.
Too fast, too fast, too fast, way too fast, way too fast. You know where you got to stop? Where you got to stop slowing them? From there, halfway around, and you never push against them from there. You ride with them and just slow them with your hands, because if you try and push them all the way around the way they're doing it, I did it with an S-class one night, you go halfway around here.
All of the rail fans here watching the train movements, engine movements. It's the South Australians' turn now to come onto the turntable. K-Class 183 has arrived here at Bacchus Marsh, and we're now waiting for the South Australian engine number 621 to couple onto the front. This K-Class is fitted with American box spoke driving wheels.
Hey, out of it! Don't fall up in front, please. Anybody will.
Crossing the bridges on the Ingliston Loop. This is almost at the top of the big hill at Ingliston. This hill also was a renowned battleground in the days of the steam locomotive. Blowing down the boiler. The locomotives are headed west now, again out of the historic train shed at Ballarat.
Got it, beauty.
Leaving Ballarat, heading west. Well, we've just had 4 enormous days chasing this South Australian locomotive. We got as far as Tailem Bend, I went with a mate of mine, Peter. Come in the frame, Peter, and say hello. Just come and stand right here.
G'day Frank, how you doing?
Now we've had an enormous time. We followed the R class as far as, where was it, Dimboola, was it? Ararat, Dimboola.
Dimboola the first day.
Dimboola the first day, and then we went into South Australia to Tailem Bend. We thought we might have got as far as Murray Bridge and caught the 621 engine coming across the bridge over the Murray, but we were too late. Anyway, we'll sign off for now until next time.
Out.